You're having a fantastic day. So I thought I'd go through the cosine rule in two videos similar to that, the sine rule, and to support you through this. So let's start with the cosine formulas. So the cosine formulas look something like this. Okay, we have a squared equals b squared plus c squared minus 2bc cos a, and this again is a mixture of SOHCAHTOA and also Pythagoras, which you can see from the a squared equals b squared plus c squared. I'll go through the derivation if you want, just please tell me and I'll go through that. So let's first look at a situation where we use the cosine rule. Okay, so cosine rule is important to know when to use it. Okay, when to use the cosine rule. So if I, for example, draw this triangle, clearly this triangle is not a right angle triangle. The cosine rule is only used, it is only used when we have an angle. There's two situations only. If we have an angle of, let's say, 30, and you have two sides within the angle, so let's say 7 and 8, and you're trying to find this side A. So again, it only happens when we have two sides, okay, an angle, and you're looking for this side here. So you have, like, again, 7 and 9 and 30 degrees, okay, so you're looking for this side here. This is only situation where you use the cosine rule for looking for a side. We're going to look at the second situation where we use the cosine rule. The second situation is quite simple. It is, we'll look at that in the next chapter or the next video. So let's look at this now. The cosine rule states the formula a squared is equals to b squared plus c squared minus 2bc cos of a. Okay, cos of a. Your b and c are always going to be these values. Okay, these values. And your cos of a is going to be the angle in front of this one, so that it becomes the angle. So if you look at the formula, it says a squared, okay, a squared. So a squared is what we're looking for. So a squared is what we're looking for. B squared is 7 plus 8 squared minus 2 times 7 times 8 times cos of 30, okay, cos of the angle. So again, we took B and C are always going to be these sides between the angle, okay, between the angle, for example x. This side and this side always going to be your B and C, okay, always going to be your B and C. It's very important to remember that. So a squared equals 7 squared plus 8 squared minus 2 times 7 times 8 times cos 30. So we get a calculator. I tend to do this portion first. So I'll do 7 squared plus 8 squared first. I get the answer of 113. And then I do this separately in the calculator. 2 times 7 times 8 times cos of 30. That gives me 56 root of 3. See, I haven't rounded it up. And then again, all I'm going to do now is subtract 113 from that, which is 16.0051 ... Obviously, I don't want a squared exactly like Pythagoras at the end. I square root. So square rooting this answer, and to 3SF, our a value would be equals to 4.40.00, so 4.00 centimeters. Okay, so that's 4.00 centimeters. Now similarly on this side we do exactly the same. I know it's the cosine rule because I'm looking for, I've got two sides and an angle. This is 9 and this is a. I've got two sides and an angle and we're looking for the opposite side. Okay, opposite side, cosine. Okay, we're looking for the opposite side. Now clearly we can't use a sine rule here, because a sine rule we need either two angles, one side, or two sides and one angle. But clearly here we only have one angle and two sides, so we cannot apply the cosine rule sine rule at all. So you have to apply the cosine rule. So again, this is my B and C. So it will be 7 squared plus 8 squared. Again, it's equals to A squared minus 2 times, that's 9. I apologize. It says 9 there. Times 7 times BC times 7 times 8 times the cos of 30. And then again, simplifying this, 7 squared plus 9 squared gives me 130 minus 2 times 7 times 8 times cos of 30 gives me 56 root 3. Sorry, I apologize. That should be 9 here. Let me just drop that out. Sorry guys. Times 9 times cos 30. So doing that in a calculator gives me a 63 root 3. And then again, A squared would be equal to that subtracting, which is 20.88. Okay, 0.7 dot dot dot, it continues, and square rooting that will give me the following is shift square root, shift answer 4.57 centimeters. Okay, so this is the cosine rule in one situation. We have another cosine rule to find the angle in the third situation. Thank you so much for watching, and please check part 2 as